Hello subscribers, welcome back to my channel. Ross Alastair Wilson is my name. It's the name of this channel. Welcome back. I've been playing around on my other channels mainly for the moment, and I just thought I'd come on to this channel and kind of catch you up really on what's been going on, have a little catch up, because I came up with this idea to separate out the different things that I do into different channels a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember exactly. And it's been working well. It's been working really well, because it's like before I was trying to fit everything onto one channel, and I was doing all sorts of different random stuff. I was doing these kind of art journeys, like they were taking a psychedelic approach to everyday life and looking at things really up close and taking you on a metaphorical journey. And then I was also doing spiritual teaching from The Power of Now, and then I was also doing kind of jokey videos about me buying beef jerky, and it was all just a bit of a mess. And after a while I was like, it's just not making sense. And I had this new character that I was developing as well, this Aquos character. And I had these other ideas for other characters with different ethos, like a different ethos to each character. So you have the Sieros, the Earthos, Eros, who else? Fireos as well, the original first pseudonym I made for myself. And I swear there's some other ones as well. I got two. Budos. I've got too many of them to keep track of, because I've got 7 channels. That's 7 right there. Is that 7? That's 7. 7 channels. 7. And I resisted doing this. 7 channels. 7 babies. 7, yeah. 7 channels. And it's working well, because I've split everything out into different things, so I can kind of do my psychic prediction, talking about psychic phenomena and psychic, the third eye type of stuff on the Sieros channel. And I can really just go to town on that and not feel like I'm gonna alienate people who aren't into that kind of stuff on my main channel, and so each channel is like really tailored to that, whatever crowd is interested in that kind of stuff. So I've got this nature channel called Earthos, Son of Gaia, and it's just all about me walking about in nature and looking at stuff. And it's really nice. It's really just all very green and flowery and got soil and stuff, and it's me going into the woods and me going to the garden and me looking at trees and me looking at flowers and insects and stuff, and it's just really nature focused. And so that's just dedicated to that really, and I can just go to town on it. Well, I'm not actually going to go to town, I'm going to go to the woods, but yeah, I can just have fun with that, knowing that that's where it's going to go. And then I haven't really got a channel as such dedicated to art, although I think Fireos. So Fireos was the first kind of character I created, but at the time I didn't realize it was a character. When I first created this Fireos name, I thought this was me. This was going to be my name, and it does feel very close to who I am as a person. It feels like when I think of Fireos, I think of my true self, as self-generated, my self-made self, if you know what I mean. Like, it's the self that comes from me, rather than the self that was dictated to me by other people and my parents and the society around me. Fireos was the first time where I sensed my own inner power, my own perception on life, and my own needs and my own wants and things like this. So Fireos was the first real empowered self that I'd ever had. And then Fireos kind of got a bit unwieldy and overburdened by himself. And Fireos was a heavy smoker. Well, not heavy, but Fireos was a smoker, and it started to weigh him down. So he kind of buckled under his own weight of fire, because obviously smoke and fire, that was all tied into that period in my life of calling myself Fireos. And so then Aquos was born, which is this water-dwelling beast, as I've called him. I'm still not really sure what he's about. He's a strange fellow. He's very ponderous. He's very good-natured. He's very accepting of other people, but he's also very strong in. He knows what he likes and what he wants, but he doesn't impose that upon anyone. And he's quite gregarious. He will just accept everything that happens in a night, and he won't cause any trouble. He's still very honest, but he doesn't try and force that upon anyone. Phyros is kind of a bit like, he needs to get his he needs to get his needs met. He's always trying to get his needs met and get his desires fulfilled. Aquos is kind of like, I'm cool in myself. It doesn't really matter whether I get my needs met or not. Needs met or not. That just sounded weird when I said that. Anyway, so Aquos is kind of like very free-flowing, very liquid. I haven't noticed any bad qualities in him as of yet, but I'm sure that he must have parameters to him, that don't work so well in certain situations. But he seems to be very kind of helpful as a person. He just like bumbles along, and is there for other people, but not obsessively so, not over the top. Doesn't really get in people's way. So he's cool. He's a bit more, I will not say subdued. He's just a bit more affable. Phyros is very kind of like directed. Phyros wants to get things done, and Phyros wants to achieve things. Aquos is more like, maybe. Aquos is very centered, though. Phyros is not centered. Phyros is like raging around all over the place. And I'm trying to bring Phyros's energy. The energy of Phyros needs to become centered as well. If I could centralize his flame feeling and get him to be a bit more sort of less like a raging forest fire destroying everyone in his path, and more like a kind of large set of candles that's very, or like a fireplace a fire in a fireplace that's just giving out of warmth, constantly giving out warmth, needing fuel but giving out warmth. Then that would be good, because at the moment he's still a bit rattly. I sense that he's the Phyros inside me. And remember, these are all kind of, these are real and they're not real at the same time. So they're characters, but there are characters that express something about who I really am. They express a certain feeling of what I really am and what is true to me. So it might sound really strange, or why have you got 7 different characters that you play in your life? And I'm like, well, because that is true to me. It's like they're all expressions of certain aspects of my personality, a little bit more juiced up, shall we say. So, Sieros, I don't even know how to say it. And I made these things up and I don't even know how to pronounce them. Sieros, Cyrus, Sieros, Cyrus, Sarah, Sierus, whatever. That one, the psychic one, he's... Whenever I channel this part of myself, this character, he's very, I'm not even sure it's a he, to be fair, but he's got the mind. The mind is very strong in that one. So the insight is very strong. He's got wisdom. He's not necessarily connected to his emotion, though. I think Aquos is very much more emotional, in terms of he's able to handle his emotions. Sieros is just like very, able to see into the mind of other people and to like unpick and pull out the problem issues that they have, and just to sort of say, like, we can pull out the grit in your mind here, because there's always grit in the mind space of old baggage. And so Sieros can kind of go, I see what's going on there, and I can have an insight about how your thinking strategy or how your thinking is really affecting your life and how that's fucking you over. Or he can predict people's behavior based on how they're thinking and feeling and stuff like this. So he's an interesting chap. But a part of me doesn't trust him as well. Part of me feels like, are his predictions really true? So Phyros, for example, would be a bit kind of scathing of Sieros. Phyros would be like, yeah, whatever. Let's go and have sex instead. Let's go and drink some beer, smoke some cigars, smoke some hookah, smoke some weed, do some LSD, even though Phyros has never done LSD. and let's go and shag some bitches. That's what Phyros would be about. And Sieros would be kind of looking at Phyros going, I see you have deep insecurities about yourself. Phyros would be like, no, what are you on about? I'm just having fun in my life, or whatever. So yeah, so they're all parts of me that I get to have fun with and mess around with. So I presume probably at some point they will turn into actual characters, like I'll make them into a cartoon character of each one of them. Maybe I don't know, make a play or film or something, I don't know, about them. But yeah, so those are the characters. So that's working really well. And it's also good because I'm an artist as well. So I draw, and I draw cartoons, and I draw abstract pieces, and I paint. And some pieces seem to reflect more an Aquos kind of feeling, some reflect a Budos feeling, some reflect a Phyros feeling, so far anyway. And it's just nice because before there was a sense that I had this name Phyros and I was using it for everything, and it started to feel like, should I put Ross or should I put Phyros? Now I've got these different choices that I can use these different names for. It makes more sense. It feels like the work that I do has a coherency to it because they fall under certain categories. Like Budos is very much about consciousness. Budos is about spirituality in a very direct teaching way, and he's very much about clarity of consciousness. No mincing around, no messing around with words, no splintsing of words. With Budos, he just wants to get to the point. And so artwork, also his artwork, I was doing a piece earlier on today that I've put the name of Budos on. The artwork coming from that kind of ethos, I use the word ethos, everything's got an os at the end, Earthos, Phyros, ethos. Ethos means the place that you come from, right? Or the way in which you do something. I think, let's look that up, because although I sound like an idiot trying to teach you words you already know, most likely, ethos. I learned this word ages ago and I never really fully understood what it means. Come on, ethos. Character. Well, there we are. Ethos is a Greek word meaning character that is used to describe the guiding beliefs or ideals that characterize a community, nation, or ideology, or personality, subpersonality thing. Ethos is a Greek word meaning character. So it's the character. It's what defines or describes the mode of how these things work. Yeah. Whatever. I see it as saying, where do you come from? Where is this thing coming from? So Budos, I was doing a piece of artwork earlier on, and it's like drawn in a very clear style. It's colourful yet clear, and there's a sense of spaciousness, and it's a chakra type of drawing. So it's got a sense of a spiral feel to it, but it's very clear, and it's very sort of centered as well as moving. So that's nice, because that doesn't really fit with Phyros. Phyros would be more rough and raw and trying to, shake people up. Budos is more like, no, this is okay. This is just straightforward. This is beautiful, and it reflects the clarity of consciousness that Budos is about. And then an Aquos piece, for example, is more like probably just the colours of blue and green and watery sensation and creativity, but in a very fluid way. So yeah, it's I don't know, it's just interesting how they come from different places and how that manifests in different ways in the different art forms that I, channel or whatever. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, so I'm getting a bit tired doing this video. What else is there I can catch up on? There's family stuff. It's my mum's birthday tomorrow. Does anyone care about that? I haven't got her a gift. I'll probably get her something tomorrow. I doubt I'll get her a gift. I won't get her a gift. I might get her a gift. I don't know. I never know these things. These things are very confusing to me, because I used to have I used to have resentment towards my family, so sometimes I wouldn't get them something because I was still feeling resentful, and I wouldn't be able to authentically get them something, because to give someone a present when you're secretly hating them is like going against your truth. And you might say to me, "Oh well, you should just do it anyway because it's what you're supposed to do." And I'll say to you in Fire Rush mode, I don't do what other people just tell me to do. I do what feels right for me. So there we go. That's Fire Rush kicking your asses. So yeah, and authentically, I will do what feels right to me at the time that feels right to me. So, for example, I got my dad's birthday present about 3 months after his birthday because nothing had really come to mind as to what to get him. And it's like, there's no point in just getting something stupid or just getting something offhand, you know, just random that they're just never going to use. Because you know, as well as I do, when you get a birthday present or a Christmas present or some present that is just not for you, that's just not about you at all, that's about them, or just you're never going to use it, it's completely wrong for you, you know, you hate it, it's just my nan used to give me strange presents. Like, so one time she gave me something like an iron cover or something. I'm thinking, what is this? Or a window cleaning flannel, and you're just like, you don't know me, do you? You don't know me. And she's not able to know me because we didn't spend enough time together, and she lives really far away, so she doesn't know me. But so I do know my family, and it's just like, okay, just because it's your birthday now doesn't mean I have an authentic, genuine idea for what to get you. Yes, I've known your birthday's coming along, but I work in a very different way to the normal thing. You know, my schedule is not the schedule of the world. My schedule is based on feelings and based on intuition and based on kind of like the relationship that's there. So I'll probably get my mum something that's really, really relevant to our relationship or to her, just based on kind of like what I've been hearing from her, you know, what I've been listening to, where there's a gap or something she needs or something she wants or something that would make her happy. And so far, nothing's come up. And you probably just might think, oh, you're just being lazy, you didn't think far enough ahead. No, not really. It's just like, I'm not going to get her something that is pointless, that she'll never use and that she won't like. So I will wait and I'll listen, and something will come later. I mean, it's like, no one's forcing me to get her a fucking present. If she doesn't like the fact that I haven't got her a present, then I'll deal with that. I'll deal with her being pissed at me. I will deal with that, because that's my responsibility. I didn't get her the present. She's pissed at me. I will deal with that. It's unlikely that she will be. I feel like I'm justifying to you. Look, I'll get her a present when I want to get her a present, or not at all. What's it to you anyway? What's it to you? Why do you care about my fucking life? It's none of your business. Why did I tell you then? I told you just so I could have a go at you. Sorry about that. I feel I've ruined the whole video now. I don't feel I've ruined the whole video. I don't really care. Yeah. So, my mum's birthday tomorrow. What else coming up? Friend of the family died recently. So I've spoken about death on the Budos channel. I feel like I should be more sad than I am. Again, there's this feeling of the family pressurizing me in the background that I should feel more than I actually am feeling. And it's, again, all about, what do I actually feel? You know, I think that my brother feels a bit sad. My mum feels a bit sad. My dad feels a bit sad. I think my dad's trying not to feel anything at all, actually. I don't really feel anything. I feel a little bit of memory. Traces of memory, like, but I didn't really know the guy that well. So, again, I'm not gonna like force myself to pretend to be feeling a certain way when I'm genuinely not feeling a certain way. And let this be a lesson to all of you. Like, you don't have to pretend to be feeling something that you're not feeling. Yeah, you don't have to, but that comes with the caveat of people will still probably try to force you to feel certain ways. People will probably still try to make you pull a response out of you, and it's not authentic. It's not authentic. You know, it's very manipulative. The general social world is all about pulling a standardized response from people, like, hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. You? Yeah, I'm good too. What you been up to? Yeah, not much. You? Yeah, work, 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 same old thing. Oh yeah, me too. How's your family? Yeah, family's not so bad. What about yours? Yeah, mine's alright too. Okay. What are you up to later? I'm going out for a meal with my husband slash wife slash dog slash daughter slash son slash whatever. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it sounds nice. Yeah, what are you up to then later? Oh, I'm going off to wank off by myself for 3 hours. Yeah, sorry, I just got tired of the old social bullshit. Yeah, you can fuck off now. I said fuck off. Are you gonna go, or are you gonna just stand there looking like a prick? Yeah, you keep on walking. Whoa, oh, yeah. Yeah. So that's that. Yeah, fuck the social world, man. Alright then. I've just making this video's made me angry. Why have I suddenly got angry? I'm just trying to catch you up on how I am. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm alright. I'm alright. I just don't like family occasions. We've got family occasion coming tomorrow, and they stress me out because everyone's always trying to pressurize the other people into feeling and thinking certain ways, and I'm like, nah. But it's been much better actually. It used to be really hard work for me. Now people were sort of okay with me being weird. People are okay with me being me. So before they were like always trying to ask me questions, and I'm just like, you're really not going to get the answer that that you're expecting. If you ask me a normal question, you're going to get a ridiculously individualized answer. Like if you ask me how's it going, I go, I don't really know how to answer that question because the way that you've asked that question is kind of weird and it comes from a strange place and I don't really think in that way anymore. They're going, oh man, I just wanted to hear, yeah, I'm alright. I just wanted to hear, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Just don't, so I think people would find it a bit difficult to know how to speak to me. So they don't ask me, for example, how my work is going because they know that it's whatever answer I give them is going to scare them. So I'd be like, well, I've got 7 YouTube channels now. They were like, what? And I'd be like, yeah, I've been doing a load of artwork to promote consciousness and healing of the fractured psyche. And they'd be like, and they'd be like, and I'd be saying, oh, I've written a song which is about grief. And they're like, oh. I just wanted to know it's going well. No, but that's not how life is, Life isn't that simple anymore. What's this? It's not as easy. I don't believe in this bullshit response to life where you're just saying, good, everything's fine, everything's great. Yeah. Or the opposite, which is always whining about things, which is like, oh yeah, well, mustn't grumble. Oh, the weather's a bit naff, isn't it, today? All of that stuff is all bollocks. So part of being truthful and being honest is to be truthful and honest. Yeah. Boy. So people have learned to just avoid certain topics with me. Usually the answer scares them or annoys them more than it annoys me nowadays. Like, so they just kind of, there's occasionally awkward pauses where it's like, normal question that I would ask here just doesn't really work. And it's nice though, because now that my family is starting to just get used to that and they're like, okay, Ross is his own person, Ross does his own thing, Ross is the way he is, Ross has his own weirdness, his own eccentricities, his own individualities and stuff, that they just kind of accept me more as I am, and they don't go down the normal stupid social route anymore. It's more like we can have more of a genuine conversation these days, which is nice. So there's less pretending. In families there's often a sense of pretending, and there's a sense of trying to conform to what each other family member thinks about each other family member. So there's a sense of trying to keep roles in place. And I think that my family have started to just like, they don't care about that anymore. They're just like, okay, you know, we've been through so much together as a family that we respect each other as individuals now, whereas before there was a sense of trying to keep things the same, try to keep the relationship the same, try to maintain certain aspects. And it's just like, no, everyone's just their own person now, you know, and everyone is respected as such. So that's good. It's good. Sometimes a bit kind of pressurizing for me, because there's still a sense that emotionally the environment in the family is not 100% emotionally clear. So it's more difficult to express emotional stuff about, you know, how you have felt or how you are feeling or what you feel about things to come. So there's still a slight emotional barrier there in family members, but it's less, you know. Yeah, so there we go. That's what's happening in my life at the moment. Just thought I'd catch you up on it. Undoubtedly, some of you are going to be triggered by what I say in some way or other, because families are big triggers for most people, and the general way of living in families is to maintain the roles within the family, to hide the true self, to stick to go with what the parents say. The parents are always the right ones somehow, or the child is always the victim, something like this. And across none of it do you have just, in my family, I am who I am, and I respond as my true self to my family at all times. And there's no sense of role playing on my part. There might be role playing on the other part, but I let them get on with that. You know, I'm not about to start interfering with them. I used to try and bring other people to this authentic place that I felt that I was in. Now I'm like, just, I'll be who I am, and I'll just take responsibility for who I am and how I feel and what I want to do. That's my primary responsibility. It's everyone's primary responsibility, is that they're in control of their body. So I'll take care of that. If people want to find themselves, fine. If they don't, fine. You know, that's not my responsibility anymore. I just like, I am who I am where I am, I feel how I feel, I think how I think, I want what I want, I do what I do, la 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 la, and then we can have a conversation about that. And I'm going to be honest. So quite often conversations don't happen because people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear the truth as I see it. They just don't want to hear it. They're just like, no, let's just do something instead. Let's stay away from anything too real, you know, because that's when emotions get high and it's difficult for people to handle strong emotions, right? And you know, I don't really like having to go through strong emotions either, but I will do if I have to. Trigger me timbers. Family, eh? Family. Yeah. I don't really know very many people who have an honest relationship with their family, a healthy relationship with their family, or a real relationship with their family. Like, if you got all those three things, well, honest, healthy, real, where you can say what you really think and feel. What's the other bit? Honest, healthy, where you feel respected, not judged, where you have a sense of space and boundary and individuality and freedom. And then what's the other one? Real, which means where you can experience the full range of your emotions and the full range of your suffering in the environment of your family. I don't sense that many people have that. I feel like many people have to play the social role, the social game with their family, so they have to pretend to some degree about how things are going and how the ins and outs of their private lives are and all this stuff. You know, we have to kind of keep certain things off the table in the family. Like, don't put your knob on the table, for one thing. I'm going to shut up now. So that's how I'm doing. Obviously, family is on the mind, as I've been talking about family for ages. It's a family event tomorrow. They usually stress me out, but they don't stress me out for very long. And yeah. Oh, another thing. actually, before I go, I'm thinking of getting counselling again after the summer. My old counsellor is not doing anything counselling wise in private. He's not doing private sessions at the moment. But I'd like to do some more, because last time I had any counselling was like last summer, and then I kind of forgot what we was talking about and whether I learned anything or not. And I feel like every session that I went to, a lot was brought up, but then I didn't really process it. And then my life changed a little bit, and I went to Bournemouth for 6 weeks over last summer, and that didn't really fully, what could I say? It didn't fully take hold. I was hoping to go and live there for good, like permanently. Permanently. I just realised I said that a bit weird. Yeah, I was hoping to live there permanently, and then I got there, and I just didn't get my head together quick enough to find a place and to find work of some kind, creative work. I wanted to find creative work that would make sense to me, because I was still kind of dealing with trauma from living here and having a really stressful few years living here. So when I got to Bournemouth, I was just like knackered and rested basically, and I just did nothing, and I just got drunk a lot. So it turned out to be a 6-week holiday at my parents' expense, but fine. They wanted to get rid of me, I wanted to get rid of them. It worked for everyone involved. I was just like a troubled teenager at that point, really. A 31-year-old troubled teenager at that point. I still haven't figured it out. So yeah, I'd like to go back to counselling after the summer, when my counsellor said that he will be restarting. I might find someone else in the meantime, I don't know. It's annoying to find other people. I don't like to restart things, and then say, blah, 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 this is who I am, this is where I came from, this is the stuff from the past. I'd like to get back in and talk to someone who already knows a little bit about where I've come from and the sorts of struggles that I've had. Yeah, so that it makes sense. And I'd like to kind of finish off that. I'd like to talk about one relationship in particular that I still don't feel is resolved in my life. Yeah, I'd like to talk about that in the counselling. And well, I don't know, it's just more like I'd like to kind of consolidate what I did in the last counselling. We went through certain issues, and stuff came up, as I said, and then I went off to Bournemouth thinking that was it and I was going to move out of the area, and then I didn't end up moving out of the area. I just came back, and I haven't felt moved to get any more counselling. It's been coming up to me though for a while. Like, I keep thinking of the old counsellor and thinking, what would he say at this time? Or I imagine having a conversation with him about a certain topic that's come up, and then I keep thinking, oh, I should email him. And then I did email him. I texted him actually, and yeah, so that's kind of coming back up into the feeling of something that I think I should do. I'm not entirely sure why, but it just feels like it's probably right for me to go back and have some counselling to finish off, like, sort of, tie the bow on a few sort of issues that were there. And I want to catch the guy up on, like, from the period when I stopped having counselling with him, because I'd been having counselling with him on and off for like a year or so. I want to kind of catch him up on like what's happened in between, and in a way I've progressed a lot in my emotional health and my feeling of happiness. There's a lot less suffering in me than there was when I was with him. When I was seeing him. That still sounds bad. When I was going to counselling with him. Yeah. Yeah, so I've really progressed a lot, I really feel a lot better. And I sort of want to fill him in on the changes as well. Like, this has changed, I've come to terms with this, and this has improved. I'm still unsure about this, I don't know what the hell is that about. And it would be wise, or it'd be helpful for me to just go through this big Work. I think work is still the issue. Work is still an issue. Work and relationships are like a really big issue for me. You know, the creative work that I do is less of an issue because I'm okay with the actual stuff that I'm doing. But it's like feeling confident, or there's some blocks about making this work for me, making it a career. You know, some barriers there that I just haven't quite figured out. And then relationships, I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing in my relationships, you know. My relationships are just all over the place. My friendships, I don't know why I have certain people in my life, you know. I don't know what even I like about them. I don't know, you know, if I want to hang out with them or not. I don't know. I don't know if I have fun hanging with them or not. I don't know what kind of friends I would like. You know, I don't even feel like if I'm connected with these people or not. You know, do I have anything in common with these people anymore? My friendships are a bit messed up at the moment, like not really drastically messed up. I don't know why I have these friends, and I don't know if I'm enjoying my friendship with them, and I don't know, like, were they just from a certain time period in my life where they were relevant to me and I did have fun with them and were enjoying being friends, and now it just doesn't really make sense because I've changed a lot and they've changed a lot. It's like, I don't know. And then sexual relationships as well. Like, I haven't had sex since October last year, which is a lot of months ago. Let's just check. April. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 6 months. And that's not. I have done periods of celibacy where I've consciously decided to not. And the last person I had sex with, I didn't even know what I was up to while I was doing that anyway. Like, you know, I think I was trying to take revenge on my ex-girlfriend somehow by sleeping around again. So, you know, that needs a looking at. That needs a looking at. The relationships, the friendships, and the work. So basically everything important in life needs looking at. Yeah. My life situation. My living situation, you know, that needs having a look at. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Why I'm 32 and I still don't know what I'm doing with my life, and I'm still trying to figure it out. And every day I look at my life and I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I do figure out tiny little pieces, you know, bit by bit, and it's just it's a nightmare. Okay, so that's me. Thanks for coming to my channel. Have a look at the other channels. Budos, Eros, Wing Commander, Sierros, blah blah blah, Aquos, blah blah blah, Fireos, blah blah blah. Peace be with you. Right, I'm out. I'm done. We're done. We're finished. There you go. Now I thought about this thing where when I get to the end point, I wanted to just go on a little bit more afterwards. Just to see if anything happens, because there's sometimes, you know, you think you've finished, and then it's like the end credits, isn't it? Yeah, in the film you've got the end credits, and then there's after bit, isn't it? There's this little after bit that could be good. Now it could be shit for this, but I finished now, you see, and I thought let's just go on a little bit longer. I had this idea a while ago, and then I remembered that I had the idea, and now I'm implementing the idea, you see, because this is, I don't know, and then it's sort of to try and see what happens after you think you've finished, because you think you've finished, but have you really finished? You know, that was the point of like, I've finished, and now there's more. So yeah, so there we go. And I thought, let's do that as an idea, where I get to the point of I've finished. I normally turn the video off. You see, I'd normally be this would be off. So this is dead time now. This is dead time. We're all dead. We're all dead. And I'm like, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens in the after bit. And the after bit, satin floss, yeah? Let's floss the teeth. In the after bit, this is what happens in the after bit. I start flossing it. Flossing my teeth. You know? And normally the video would be over by now. I had no idea. Why am I doing this? Well, yeah. I don't know. Okay, definitely is the end of the video now, but is it the end of the video? Fine, end of the video. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. Who am I asking? It must be the end. Why don't I just say yes, it's the end, and then it's over? Then I'll just press the button. You know, I'm like acting as though I don't know what I'm doing. I'll press the button then. I'll do it then. Well, now I don't want to. I do want to though. Do I want to? Who's controlling my life? I'm in control. I'm the guy. All right, let's do. What happened to the hair? I'm doing it. I press the button. I know this. Why am I speaking like an idiot? Fuck.